so much for joining us on April 15th. This is when, for the last 94 years, you pay your income taxes to the private run-for-profit Federal Reserve, all on interest of the debt. Now $12.8 trillion they've stolen in the last 6 months in a bipartisan heist that's going on. They have us all confused with a false left-right paradigm. That's how they control us. We are trying to break the people out of this and get back to liberty versus tyranny. And we are simulcasting with one of the most popular, quote, progressive or liberal talk show host in the country, Thom Hartmann, syndicated across the country. Mr. Hartmann, it's good to have you with us.
Hey, Alex Jones, how are you?
I am good. You are very loud.
I am very loud. Okay, well,
I certainly heard that. Hey, listen, it's good to have you here, but why don't you just go ahead and start the interview off here?
Okay, well, it's not so much an interview as a simulcast. We're going to do our shows together here, right?
Absolutely, but I'm going to let you have the opening salvo here because
okay,
I'm literally shirtless here after just writing a huge income tax check to the private bankers who are bringing in the world government and publicly announcing it.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about my concern that Barack Obama is in his speech yesterday was talking about how if we give money to banks, every dollar to a bank produces $8 to $10 in loans, whereas if we give a dollar to individuals, it's only $1. And I'm very concerned that he's under the sway of the Geithners and the Summerses of the world, and he's going down the Bill Clinton road. But that's a separate thing. Alex Jones, you have a new DVD out. It's called The Obama Deception. And people can find it over at your website, Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and what, AlexJones.com? Which one do you want to?
No, it's just Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com. And by the way, if you just Google the Obama deception, there's a couple of cruddy Google versions, but go to YouTube. It'll say Obama deception high quality. It's like the third or fourth link. It's got about 1,400,000 views or so. That's the best free copy I've seen on the web. So I would just tell your listeners, please don't believe me. I cut my teeth, going after Clinton. I was called a right-winger. Then I went after Bush because he was violating the Constitution. And I was called, a communist. They said I secretly worked for Al-Qaeda. I mean, literally, I worked for George Soros, they said. And then we get Barack Obama in. They're now saying I'm a right-wing fascist Nazi in league with Hitler. And so I want people to actually see the film because it's what you just brought up. Right. You have Geithner, the head of the New York Fed, in league with the head of Goldman Sachs, who was Treasury Secretary at the time, literally handing over unlimited power and control bipartisanly to these offshore banks. And Obama has lied about hiring lobbyists, lied about the war, lied about warrantless wiretapping and secret arrest and rights for detainees. And then he lied about saying that he was fighting against the bonuses when he signed the executive order and told Senator Dodd to pass the rider on the bill so that they could take the money. I mean, all I'm saying is Barack Obama is as phony as a $3 bill, and Barack Obama is the New World Order's closer. The establishment was worried about the left waking up to what the corporate system was doing, and there was a real revolution in this country. The left and the right were coming together as populists.
Here's what's happening, Alex Jones, is that while I'm reluctant to use the word lied because well, it's a slap, and frankly, a lot of us worked really hard to get Barack Obama elected and think that at the core he's a decent guy. The guy was a constitutional scholar. I was shocked when a constitutional scholar voted for FISA. I was shocked when the list of things of what you described as lies is accurate to the best of my knowledge. And now with Bagram, and his administration is saying, oh yeah, we can detain people forever with no habeas corpus, just not at Guantanamo. We just move them to Bagram. And I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I voted for. On the other hand, and I think that there's a number of areas where you and I probably have shared what folks outside of our respective circles might refer to as conspiracy theories. There are others where I'm sure we differ. But for example, you set up your movie with this thing about the Bilderberg Group. And yet you're going on Fox News, which is, you realize Rupert Murdoch has shown up at Bilderberg meetings.
Sir, I go on your show. I go on
okay. All right.
I go on Iranian TV. And by the way,
point made. But what I'm saying is that this isn't a secret conspiracy. The conspiracy is right out there for everyone to see. They're rubbing our faces in it. It doesn't require a bunch of people sitting in a closed room to plot the future of the world. They're doing it right out in front of us. This whole thing, my biggest concern, frankly, is the Federalist Society. This right-wing group that has taken over our courts, that believes that corporations should have the same rights as persons.
Well, absolutely. Look, they've co-opted and control the right, as you know, and now they're trying to co-opt these Tea Parties. These Tea Parties have been going on for a year or longer. 9/11 Truth actually started the Tea Parties, and you had liberals, conservatives really fusing together as constitutionalists, people that wanted liberty. And then we see a clear operative. I mean, there's no doubt. I've seen him going off scripts. Mr. Becky coming out now trying to co-opt the local neocon host who are totally discredited in every city. It came out that over 1 million Iraqis died. It came out they lied about WMDs. It came out that they were for the police state and even gun control. And so conservatives have...
The Bush administration.
Yes, the Bush administration. Yeah. So they've all basically left the Republican Party. And so the Republican Party is trying to latch on. That's what Fox News and others are doing.
Right.
So
they're phony populists. They're phony populists. I mean, you got Dick Armey out there. Dick Armey, who is a lobbyist, right, for the interests of the very wealthy and powerful in this country. He's a lobbyist for pharmaceutical companies. I went through the list earlier. I'm not sure where it is in my stack, my explosion of papers here all over the desk right now.
Dick Armey is the consummate lobbyist, just like everybody else in Washington.
And his Freedom Watch is one of the groups that is really, really pushing these Tea Parties. And it's like, I don't get it how the average working person, and here you're approaching it arguably from the right, and I'm approaching it arguably from the left. And yet I think that there are a variety of areas where Americans are being asked to say that they're right or left, being asked to define themselves as Republicans or Democrats, when neither party is addressing their interests in many real ways. Now, I think that my solution to this, I think in some ways may be very different from yours, Alex, and I'd like to get your take on this. My solution to this is that we infiltrate the political parties. I mean, if you and I wanted to take over NBC, we'd have to have hundreds of billions of dollars. No way we could do it. But the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are both standing out there with enormous power and levers of power and millions of dollars, and they're standing out there saying, please show up and volunteer for the meetings. And in my book Screwed, I document how in Colorado, in New Mexico, and in Oregon, activists showed up at the county level and took over the local Democratic
Party. No, that's
parties.
exactly what I'm saying. We've been taking over the system.
From Midas Research.
We select them personally. They come from small properties in the south of France. They are delicious. Connoisseurs love them. And they are earth-friendly. My name is Veronique. I founded the Organic Wine Company in 1980 for people just like you, people who love wine and want to do well by our earth. Call us at 1-888-ECO-WINE. We'll answer all your questions. I look forward to talking with you. Call 1-888-ECO-WINE, and that is ECOWINE.
Mr. Hartman, are we back together here?
I'll set my suitcase.
Helping you win the water cooler wars. Thom Hartmann here with you, and we are doing sometimes it's hard to stitch together two radio shows. Well, sometimes it's always a challenge to stitch together two radio shows, and we're doing it today with Alex Jones and his show. And is Alex with us?
Yes, I'm here. This is very exciting. I think we did it okay. I've got on the clock here that we're going to break next time at 26 minutes and 51. I just want to double check because
I'm showing 27:50 is our break, but I'm Sean can correct me. But when
these are the
our
numbers we were given, so
okay.
No big deal. This is exciting. This is fun. Tom, look. Regardless, they've stolen $12.8 trillion. They are taking over. Yes. They call it a conspiracy theory. When a week and a half ago it was in the Tennessee newspapers, I had listeners calling going, the regular Army is going to be running checkpoints on the highways. We call the governor's office. The governor comes out and says the Army isn't allowed to run checkpoints. And then the weekend came and it was in the newspapers that they shut the highways down and had regular Army out with the police stopping the traffic, it said, for miles on major roads.
Yeah, and this is a clear violation of posse comitatus, and it blew my mind when I think it was the John Warner Defense Appropriation Bill during the Bush administration that they blew up posse comitatus.
Yes.
Let me just and again, this is something that I think people on the left and on the right should be equally furious about, is that our Constitution is being eviscerated, and it's not, you know, your new DVD, The Obama Deception. I mean, you actually,